Welcome, friends, to the Winding Road Podcast. I'll be totally honest with you today. I have absolutely zero. I mean, absolutely nothing. Not a damn, not a nothing on my mind today. So you're like, well, why, Gary? Why did you get on here and click to do a podcast in the middle of traffic? I don't know. I'd go down the road here. I just like to see what pops into my mind while I'm driving, And I still think about how, when I'm doing these things, like, somebody going to be looking over at me and thinking, oh, what's this guy doing? Like, there are parts of my brain that still hits me. I can feel it right now in the middle of traffic. Like, what's this guy doing over here in their car? Like, I'm saying that to myself, though. These people beside me probably don't even give a shit what I'm doing. They might glance over and see me, and then they may wonder. But in reality, man, I've been talking a lot lately and thinking about lately how everything is just a reflection of what is already going on in our head. So it's not that they might be doing that. It's just that I'm telling to myself, like, I'm worried about what other people might think. And I'm not, though. I'm not. Like, that hits me. That part of me hits me. But it's about letting that thought, letting that go through. Like, talked about some of the very first episodes on this podcast, how those thoughts can go through, but you do not let them attach to you. You can, like, all right, acknowledge that, okay. Don't let them attach. You might ask a question about them, and I ask questions like why I might have some of those thoughts sometimes of, why, like, well, why are we worried about, what other people are thinking? Like, I don't know, is it because we're talking about other people behind their backs and things like that, or we're talking about other people? So if we're constantly, talking about other people and doing that, then we think that, that's going to happen to ourselves. It's kind of like maybe a little bit of a karma thing going on. So, and I've noticed that over the years as I've gotten away from that, and like when I want to say something, but I think about it enough to be like, well, no, that's kind of gossiping, or that's, I've never been a big fan of it, but we all do it at times, I think, for sure. But I want to try to run as far away from that as I can. And I've noticed that as I've ran farther away from that, then those, thoughts of, what other people might be thinking and saying about me kind of goes away. And now it's like replaced by good thoughts, that now that my book's getting out there, people are reading it. I'm just like, I'm humbled by the fact that people would take the time, first of all, spend their money on my book, and then actually take the time to read it. And I think about how people, out there might be seeing my stuff right now or reading it, and it might be affecting them in a meaningful, positive way, hopefully. And I think how kind of cool that is. And it's humbling. And then, so I'm thinking about that in a positive way of how what people might be thinking or saying. And sure, there's always going to be some negative stuff the more and more you grow, if you're trying to grow something bigger to where people are going to notice you and things like that. And I do go back to whenever I was in radio and was well known for that in the community, like walking around like, oh, it's so and so, like, oh, who, like stupid, like probably an ego thing, because it's not like I was like extremely big or anything, but like, oh, I'm here doing this or whatever. Like, oh, I wonder if so-and-so over there, if they know me, they're looking at me, and what are they thinking about me? But it's the reflection, guys. It's because we're judging ourselves. We're judging ourselves in that moment, to think, oh, I might look stupid or this and that, or oh man, if I moved or do this a certain way, like people might think that's stupid. Number one, I'm just like, screw it, be unique. Screw it, be unique. But it's a reflection on ourselves. And I mean, it's just the age-old adage of, we're always too worried about what other people are going to think about us, and it stops us from achieving greatness. And that's I think the people that succeed the most just blast through that, or maybe they have to crawl and fight through some of that, as I have. But if you're able to get through a lot of that, man, I just think that is the key. That's such a huge, crucial aspect of getting through it. And just being prepared too. Like, I over prepare where I just try to, I'm not going to put it out there. I keep waiting, because we're worried about it. It's got to be perfect. If it's not, people are going to blast us for it. But yes, like, be prepared. Make sure it's good before you put it out there. Like, do everything you can, like with my books, developmental editing process, copy editing process, proofreading process. Yes, this stuff takes money. So if you save it up if you have to. Like, don't just make it and just throw it out there and hope it does good, because it's probably not. If you just just wrote it and okay, it's probably got 100 spelling errors. You got to be professional. But at some point you just do it. After all that's said and done, you have to just let it go, man. But there's so many good books and so many other things and people, and yes, some of it's a crapshoot with everybody. A lot of people having an equal leveling the playing field, with the AI stuff and everything like that. And a lot of people that self-published books, we got a fair shake now, sort of, I guess. At least it's becoming more fair to where we can do that. And yes, it might be just on something going viral, but you can't just rely on that to just make some videos and hope one of them goes viral, and the next thing you know, you're famous. That's few and far between. It may seem like the norm, but it's not. That's the exception to the rule, where somebody does something and it just goes viral, and the next thing you know, they're famous. What is the rule is you're gonna have to work your fucking ass off to get noticed. And you can make 1,000 videos you think are better than other people, and thinking, well, why did theirs go as famous? I don't know, man. That's just the algorithm thing. What people, however it happens, right place, right time. And time and place is huge, and time and place is important, but there's no guarantee of that. It's probably not going to happen, man. So you have to grind. You have to get out there. You have to be seen. You have to get it off the ground at the local level, gain the support of your family, friends, community. Family, friends, community, world. In that order. It's what I've been trying to do with my books. And it's been hugely successful, and I'm so humble and grateful for all the local support I've gotten so far, and my novella's at the point now where I've sold as many copies as most books ever sell, which is around 250, and I'm over that now. And I've gotten an article written about me, had one successful book launch and one successful book signing, and I'm happy about that. And we should celebrate milestones, getting past what everybody else has done. But I'm going to acknowledge it. I'm going to celebrate it. But then I'm going to keep going. So for instance, let's take an analogy of a sporting event. Or not event, but a sporting series, It's like the people that grind all season long. They grind and they grind. Take baseball, 162 games, and they finally make the playoffs, on the last day or whatever it is. They work their butt off. Their magic number 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and they clinch. And then they go, whenever they're getting interviewed, yes, we're pumped. We made the playoffs, but the work's just getting started, man. The work's just getting started. So I've grinded and spent countless hours getting this book to where it's at, so that I can get my next book to where it can go. But I got to get this book even farther first. I got to get this book on the bestsellers list. I got to get this book to 1,000 10,000, whatever, however many reviews that it's going to end up being. But I got to get it there to build up that author platform so that the book that I worked on for 10 years can be successful. But in the middle of that, you can absolutely slow down to celebrate milestones, but don't stop. Slow down to celebrate and take a deep breath, say, all right, like I'm doing something here. Because a lot of times I don't do that, and I'm only here, and I think it's good in a way that I say, you know, like I've done nothing yet. Like I feel like I've done nothing yet. And maybe that was just at a point where I hadn't done a whole lot. Now I'm getting to a point where I'm doing some stuff and I'm seeing a little bit of the fruits of my labor on that, but I'm not gonna be satisfied. I am still so very hungry. Like whenever put up the vision, man, whenever I see the vision is so much more. So I'm not just gonna stop in the middle of this vision now where we're here only at the beginnings of, you know, maybe I haven't even made the playoffs yet alone thinking about winning the championship. You know, I feel like now I just made the team. You know, I'm just on the team now. I just made it to the big leagues. Whatever, that's not a good analogy because I'm really not in the big leagues yet, but you know, I just made it there. And just keep going and going and going, and you know, and then, you know, once I get to where I want to be with this book and the next book and get on those lists and start accomplishing a whole bunch of great things, guess what? I'm pretty sure I'm gonna still be hungry. Like, yeah, I want to get myself where I can, you know, take a month off, take some time off, go see places and do things, but I'm always working. Work's a bad word though. I don't like the word work, but I'm always creating. Because even in the downtime, even in the moments where you're just relaxing or hanging out or playing disc golf with a friend, there's always something that can be learned in that. I'm not thinking about learning it while it's going on. I'm just thinking about having a good time. But I'm recording it. My recorder is on. Always have that recorder on inside your brain, you know, because it's that curiosity. It's like, huh, you know, this happens. It might seem small, but then you're like, then you start thinking about it. You're like, huh, and then that can turn into something, man. And that's just kind of how my process works, how my brain works on some things. I thought I was going to get on here and click on, and you know, it's like, well, I don't know, you know, I'm not really in like deeper mode thought. A lot of times I get in here and I'm in maybe a little bit of a bad place, and I want to reflect that because it might help somebody. Sometimes, you know, I get on here and I'm in a good place and I want to just, you know, hopefully spread some joy. I thought maybe I might get on here today and I'm having nothing going on in my brain. Like, oh, maybe I'll tell a story. Maybe like, let's just think of the first story that pops into my head on something. Maybe tell a story or something. But then I'm like, all right, get on here and like, well, we'll just go and run with it and whatever thoughts come. And then that thought leads to another thought, man. And that's kind of how it works whenever you're just out and about. Like, just have that door open. Have that creative door open, you know. And it's not going to come for other people. It probably comes a lot easier than it does for me. And then for other people, it probably doesn't come quite as easy. So how do we figure out how to tap into that, man? And I always go back to reverence and getting out in nature and just appreciating just being here and existing, and you know, figuring out like, oh man, like what can I do to make a bigger purpose on things. And I just get so inspired by other people, you know, in my community or just online, whatever, that do things, and I just get so inspired by them, man. Like I watch that Shark Tank. I watch Shark Tank all the time. Such an incredible show, you know. And I've come up with things in my head, and then it's just like, well, it's like, when are you going to do something with that? You know, I think about, I need the money to do this and do that. It's like, yeah, well, maybe, but like it'll come when it's supposed to come. Like I'm building this right now, and I know I got that. Maybe somebody else comes up with it before me. In the meantime, you don't just want to wait forever on things, and I try not to do that. Certainly, I procrastinate for sure. Just like any other normal human being, it happens, guys. But I mean, just that finite, you just got to realize, like, here for a good time, not a long time. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do with those times? I had a extra saying for that the other day. I forgot what it was. I added to that. Here for a good time, not a long time, but I'm gonna... shit. Damn. Can't remember what that was. This wasn't it, but I like this one. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. And in the meantime, I'm gonna make the most of my time to make a dime so that I don't have to always be on the grind. Okay, I'm just making up rhymes. That, no pun intended there. Rhyme time. I think that's like a close rhyme, or is that a full rhyme? I don't know. More rambling. That's what I like to do. It's all good up in the country hood. But yeah, man, I don't know what else has been going on. It sucks because whenever I think about trying to tell stories, like, I don't know, like my brain memory, like, not always exactly super duper great whenever it comes to recalling certain things, but then you get with people and they start talking about it and then you remember every little detail. It's like what's the difference between recall and actual remembering something? Recall and memory. Like my memory is okay, but my recall is not the best. Like, I need to be reminded so that it jogs something in there. Like, I guess I just got so much stored up there that some of that stuff just goes to the very, very, very back, and it has to be brought to my attention in order for me to be able to pull it out from my subconscious. But yeah, that's about all. That's about all I got for today. See if it's just really, really nice out here on the winding road, and just go drive around, man. Just go drive around and check out cool places. I love just driving around and counting stuff. Or the other day I was riding around out in the country, and it's just like, man, you go places where people just let their grass grow, and I'm just thinking, like, wow, this is going to encompass me on both sides by the time I come back here later in the middle of summer, and you got 6 foot, 8 foot grass on one side and 6 foot 8 grass on the other side, and you better drive through that stuff slow. Get a couple deer pop out there or two. You better be driving slow, but just kind of driving. It's just kind of cool. Doing that the other night and just thinking about how whenever it gets even higher, it's going to be even cooler on both sides, and you just driving through that, man, and whatever. And I know some people, I feel like even when I talk to some people, it's like, I mean, I don't know how if they're like, they're not in my brain, so they're not fully grasping maybe onto what I'm thinking, but when we're locked into that deeper level of understanding and just in cool stuff like that, I don't know, I just have such a great appreciation for it. I'm just like so curious and just so in awe and wonder of everything. I think a lot of people, including myself at times, just don't, we just take it all for granted and don't look at things and think how cool that, just like even random trees on the side of the road, like, wow, that tree is cool, like the way it's shaped and bending, and we can find something great in it, in all the nature that we look at. And I just thought that was so cool the other day, driving through that, like this weird, like, grass tunnel or something that I'm in, and people, sure, maybe somebody on there right now is like, oh my God, like, what is this guy talking about? Man, that's fine. But I soak it all in, man. I soak it all in, I take it all in, and then I apply that to other aspects of my life. And we are all connected. All that other stuff connects to it all. I don't really begin to pretend to try to understand it more than a little bit, but I'm always trying to gain deeper understanding on it. But yet at the same time, just fully being encompassed in the eternal now and just enjoying every single second of it, in good times and in bad. I'm not gonna sweat the small stuff and not gonna make something out to more than it should be. At least I'm trying. I'm working on that, in relationships and just in general with the way we see things, because if we don't start sweating something small, then we don't get into panic mode, then we're able to just process it better and able to make better decisions. It's like I can be, getting up or whatever. It's like, oh shit, you wake up 10 minutes late, like, got to be somewhere. If you start to panic about it, you're going to slow down. If you start to panic and speed up, if you speed up in your brain, then you're going to be in trouble. You're going to be in trouble. Like, I can work in high process things and have to move quick. Certain areas of my life, I have to move quick, but my body can be moving super duper quick, man. But I'm able to, for the most part, keep my brain slowed down and just in that kind of computer robotic mode of just, what do I need? What do I got? And access and go. And not get that brain sped up, man. That's a key. That's a key when you're in a hurry. It's like, all right, I'm 10 minutes late. Okay. And it's like, all right, well, no. Okay, I'm just going to do this. Focus on this and this. I'm not going to be worried about this and this over here. I'm just like, okay. Then if I think about something, then I'm like, okay, no. Just forget that. We're going to have to X that out because we don't have enough time for that. Prioritizing, and you're able to make those decisions quickly but smartly because you're not going 1,000 miles in your brain, man. And that's just good emotional awareness and a good way to attack situations where you have to be prompt about it. So anyways, that's all I got for today, guys. I appreciate you being on here with me. We're all connected. I'm me, you're you, but we are each other. Love, inspire, unite. God bless.